if you read it. Gender orientation. We need to teach kids that there are a lot of different ways of life. Even if a belief is harmful, history is uncomfortable, we should never erase the realities of past choices. Reading books about racism, listening to audio recordings of any topic is very important. I read a lot of things I don't agree with. Everything I talk about on these videos are things I no longer agree with. That doesn't mean I can't learn from it. I'm learning a lot just finding out what I was taught incorrectly. When groups like Moms for Liberty want to remove books or criminalize giving books to children that don't meet an ever-moving line of acceptableness, you have a problem. What's acceptable to one person isn't acceptable to someone else. And when there are people who don't want their kids to realize the realities of life in order to protect their kids or to give them a better future, it doesn't work best for the child's development. Children need to learn about racism, sexism. They need to learn about every positive and negative thing that happened in our culture. They need to know that our country was built on slavery. It may be uncomfortable, but we must never forget the bad things that happened in our country. And when people are easily offended, it's because they don't want to face the reality that certain groups that they probably belong to are hate groups. And you notice the majority of people who want to remove books and movies from public libraries, they're usually white and very conservative. It's because any book, movie, music, any discussion that impacts or belittles their white privilege is something they want to protect. They don't want kids reading about Mark Twain's books because then they'll have to deal with the impacts of slavery. They don't want to read about colonialism expressed in books like Little House on the Prairie. They don't want children to read books like Catcher in the Rye. The problem is when parents are given the option to opt out or to control what their kids are exposed to, you create a culture we call helicopter parenting or lawn-mowing parenting, depending on what generation you're in. Kids from these extreme forms of controlled religion, everything they encounter is so controlled. It's kind of like everything that kids are supposed to be exposed to. These kind of parents basically control the air that their kids are breathing. I grew up in these homes. My parents didn't want me to have anything to do with anything that wasn't secular. The movies we watched, the books I read, had to be what I call sterile, and they had to have no worldview, and they couldn't be rated anything higher than G. And even Disney movies were off limits. The problem with this is it's indoctrination. If you're uncomfortable with what your child is learning in school, maybe you need to address why you're uncomfortable. Because learning about slavery, gay rights, orientation, sexism, money, and financial disparity is important. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. I don't think learning about slavery is comfortable for me either, but it's necessary. It's a necessary evil to learn about the bad things our country has done. The problem is when people want to control other people. If you want to burn something all by yourself, that's fine. I mean, I do have problems with intolerant people. But if it's just you and you're not making a public statement about something, what you do in the privacy of your home and your lawn, I don't care. Just be safe. When you do it in front of children and other adults, I do believe it's morally unacceptable. You don't want that message getting to other people. Intolerant people burn things. Bigots burn things. People that go on to kill other people, like the Nazis, burn things. Any government, institution, or group that burns things, bans things, and tells you how to believe, how to think, and how to approach these things is a cult. Because there are many countries that have no access to the outside world. They don't know what freedom looks like. And if you're old enough to remember what freedom looks like, you have no access to it. There are countries out there where just being yourself is a crime. Being authentic is a crime. Trans people fear for their lives living in certain states in America because of the bigotry. And when people burn things in groups, it's about ignorance. It's about control. It's about morality police, thought police. If something makes you so uncomfortable you want to burn it, maybe you should read the book. And it's not just burning. Many countries around the world ban things for moral reasons. And in my opinion, morality is subjective. What's moral to one person is immoral to another. And as long as everyone's doing legal, healthy things, I don't care what people do. I mean, in the 1980s, the UK, they had the video nasty list. You could be charged with a crime for distributing, selling, and owning certain movies. And I mean, this is so anti-democratic. There should be no censorship. Even the laws on television and radio are stupid. If you only want children to listen or watch, then you can have channels and stations for just kids. But people should be able to say whatever they want as long as they're not threatening, intimidating, or spreading hate speech. And in my opinion, burning something that comforts people of minorities or the LGBTQ plus population is adjacent to a hate crime. They're trying to intimidate people, silence people. And people who burn things that they don't agree with are one step away from actually burning people. I think there's a quote, if you Google it online. People who burn things today burn people tomorrow. It's dehumanizing to people. If something enrages you to the point you want to destroy it, maybe you need to look in the mirror and face your own bias.